How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews back with yet another review. And we're going to be going a little bit of Belgian style today with an Abbey style double from Ommegang. I have reviewed, I think I reviewed one Ommegang beer so far. It was a side-by-side of their Three Philosophers. It was an aged side-by-side in 2014, I believe, and it was maybe a 2010 or maybe 2008. I'm not quite sure, but I did that, and it went swimmingly, as do all my beer reviews. Not, but anyway. So we're going to be doing another Belgian style, like I said, double from Ommegang. Ommegang's very close to me. It's probably about 2 hours away. I'm in northeastern Pennsylvania. It's from Cooperstown, New York. Not to go into this with any kind of preconceived notions or bias, but two things irritate me with Ommegang. Their price point is typically a little bit askew, especially for this area. Their pricing is typically in line with some of your big, notable Belgian beers. And for me, living 2 hours away, I was kind of odd that I'm paying the same price for them as I am for something that came overseas. And two, their yeast. They have their own. They use their own proprietary yeast for all their beers. Something they don't even release to home brewers, I believe. And something about their yeast is just a little bit off for me. Not for most people, because a lot of people do like Ommegang. But usually just not bad, but just a little bit off taste-wise for me. Anyway, I don't know why I picked this one up. I'm not a huge Game of Thrones fan. I'm probably going to butcher the name of this. But I love Belgian beers. And the labeling is kind of cool. So I figured, why not give it a whirl? Plus, I think it's been a bit since I did a Belgian double or quad. So anyway, as I said, we're going to be doing a Game of Thrones series beer from Ommegang. As far as what it says on the label, up top here we have brewed and bottled in Cooperstown, New York, Game of Thrones. Brewed and bottled Cooperstown, New York. Brewery Ommegang, Cooperstown, New York, Game of Thrones. Valar Morghulis. I'm sure I'm butchering that, but that's what it says. Double ale. 8% alcohol, of course. And let's see. On the side here we have, when confronted with the most feared slaying in the High Valerian, take a sip of this and choose your words wisely. For all men must die, and all men must serve. Enjoy rich aromas of caramel and ripe fruit with deep flavors of malty sweetness and fruity esters. Pour slowly, do not disturb yeast sediment, but with vigor to make a luxurious head and free up the bouquet. On the side here it says, Ommegang ales are incomparable, yielding unique flavors and aromas inspired by deep insight into the Belgian brewing and infused with Ommegang's creative upstate New York spirit. Each ale offers perfect balance and drinkable pleasure. Government warning stuff. Part of the Dubbel family of fine Belgian ales. And HBL licensing malarkey. So yeah. Labeling wise, like I said, it's pretty cool. Something about it kind of caught my eye while I was walking by, so I figured I'd pick it up and see what she has to offer. So hopefully it's good. It's not that, like I said, it's not that Ommegang beers are bad. The aged Three Philosophers I enjoyed immensely. It's just their yeast, for me, is just a tiny bit off for some reason. Anyway, let's see what we got going on here. Yeah. Anyway, crazy big head. Off-white beige color. Looks quite nice. It looks like it wants to stick around for a hot minute. As most Belgian doubles and quads tend to like to do. Color-wise, it's like a very, very... It's not red, it's not brown. It's somewhere in between. Decent amount of carbonation in there. And it looks like it has a nice bit of density to it, but I expect it to have a little bit more viscosity, a little bit more density to it. A little bit more murkiness, being that it is a Belgian double. Typically, I like my Belgian doubles a bit murky, so... Yeah, but it looks nice. Yeah, head seems to be sticking around for a minute or so, but it definitely looks like a Belgian double. Let's see if it smells like one. Wow, that's sweet. It's sweeter than I expected on the nose. You still get that kind of bready yeastiness from it, but a lot of sweetness. Like a brown sugary caramel almost. A lot of sweetness. Breadiness is there, not as much as I typically get from most Ommegang beers. And it still has your, typical Belgian double quadish type notes there. You're going to talk about your dark fruits. But that sweetness, I'm a big sweet fan, so that's a good thing for me. But that sweetness kind of just took me by surprise there. It's quite nice. Really sweet. Really nice to smell. A lot of Belgian beers tend to produce more in the mouth than it does in the nose. So for this to have that kind of nose to it, it's kind of surprising in a welcoming way. Yeah. So a lot of sweetness, a little bit of breadiness, yeastiness to it, a lot of dark fruits, and sugar, like a brown sugar, almost caramelly toffee kind of to it. It smells really good. Dive right in. Cheers. That's a really nice double. It might be the best Ommegang Belgian double quad I've had, non-aged. I have the bottle. Considering it's most likely really, really fresh. I'm not sure what they do dating code-wise on their beers. I don't see anything on here. But, I mean, it's got to be relatively new since it is a new release. But it's really nice. It's kind of weird in a way that most Belgian beers, Belgian quads and doubles, typically hide their booziness really, really well. Just a trait of the style of beer. I'm getting the tiniest bit of booze on the tongue. It's it's there, not boozy, but that's a little bit not off-putting, but just a little bit unique, I guess you would say, to Belgian style beers. I mean, 8% is typically easy to hide, but like I said, it's not off-putting, it's just there. It's missing that odd yeasty aftertaste that I typically get with most Ommegang beers. I'm not sure if they used a different strain. They say that they use the same one for pretty much all their beers, but something about it just lacks that odd kind of finish that I've attributed to the yeast they use. And it tastes quite nice. Tastes like it would age really, really well. It's sweet, but not as sweet as I thought it was going to be from the nose. You still get like that dark fruit, but it's not as intense. More datey and maybe dark cherry-ish on the mouth. And there's how do I say it? Almost like a toasted bready finish with it, as opposed to just that like fluffy yeastiness. Not like a roasted malt. It's kind of unique. It's one of the better Belgian doubles or quads that they've produced that I've had from them. I'm kind of impressed. I was expecting less since Ommegang. I mean, like I said, they don't really move me beer-wise. It's one of the better ones. As far as rating-wise, I'm going to give it a 90, which is a good score, especially if I was going to rate it against their typical double. I'd probably give their typical double in the mid to mid-low 80s. So it's quite a jump up. Tastes like it would age. I can just tell this would age fantastic. I'm going to have to get a bottle or two of these, kind of let it sit for a couple of years and see what happens. But yeah, give it like a 90 overall. Availability in my area, northeastern Pennsylvania. Ommegang stuff is typically readily available. So I would give it an availability scale from where I'm at about a 9, even though it won't kick in at a 10 because it's a seasonal or show release, I guess you would say. And as far as value, I think, what did I pay for this? I do not remember. It's probably like $12, I'm guessing $13 for a bottle. It's not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. So I'll give it like a 7 on a value scale. Like I said in the beginning of the video, their price point tend to be a little bit askew for me, a little bit higher than normal. And this is about what it should be. Coming from where it's coming from, and I just saw the dating up here. Yeah, this is brand freaking new. Oh yeah. Actually, I smudged, so I don't see exactly when it's bottled. It looks less than a month old. Anyway, their pricing tends to be a little bit higher. I'd like to see this more around the like $9 to $10 range. I mean, that's almost pushing it. Like $10 range would be awesome. But yeah, nice overall. Really nice beer. If you're into Belgian style doubles, quads, or strong darks, and you like I don't know, you like those kind of beers, definitely be worth giving it a whirl. If you're a Game of Thrones fan in general, you're going to want to check it out just for that kind of like a kitschy like value to it. But yeah, not a bad beer at all. Yeah, almost like a nuttiness to it. That's what I'm getting, like a nut. Like a roasted nuttiness. Anyway, Game of Thrones, Valar Morghulis. Again, like I said, I'm probably butchering that. All you Game of Thrones fans, please take it easy on me. Belgian Abbey-style double. If you're a fan of the genre, and be worth checking out. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, worth checking out. If you're a fan of both, almost an absolute that you check it out. So yeah, another review in the books. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you enjoyed the review, hated the review, or somewhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you'd like to check us out anywhere else on the internet, you can on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Massive Beers. We're way more active on Instagram, so if you can check us out anywhere, check us out there. And yeah, another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you enjoyed a nice beer right now, and hopefully you see you next time. Cheers.